Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, I want to share with you 5 products I would never use. As a hardcore skincare enthusiast and someone that's been on a skincare journey for the past 10 years, these are the products that I've really distanced myself from. There are various different reasons for this, but I thought let's just document it in today's video. This is actually a response to a video I saw that Lab Muffin did on her channel. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that video, but we had very different takes on the products that we personally would avoid. So I thought I'll do my own take on that. Now I have linked Lab Muffin's video down in the description box below, and I would definitely recommend you check that out because it was such a fun one to watch. But here's my take. The things that I think could be holding back our skincare results, and personally, you won't be seeing in my own skincare routines. Sit back, relax, let's talk 5 products I would never use. Now, in today's video, this is tongue-in-cheek. You know, this is personal, as is everything in skincare. Just because I wouldn't choose to use these products, it doesn't mean that you guys have to automatically throw them away or distance yourselves from them in any way. It's all about using what works for us, which is what my mantra is here on Mad About Skin. So I would really love to know from you guys, what's that one product or category of product that you would never have in your skincare routine? Shout it down in the comment section below, because I think we're all mature enough here to have that discussion, have that debate, and enjoy listening to other people's opinions. And I would just love to hear from you, so make sure you drop a comment. Whatever your thoughts, if you like this style of content, which is a little bit different for the channel, it's not all about the very best of this or the best of the other, but about things that maybe didn't hit the mark, maybe aren't what I would personally recommend in 2025. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to let me know by reaching down, giving the video a big thumbs up and a like. The more likes the video gets, the more likely I am to replicate it and similar styles in future uploads. Now, without further ado, let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. So, product I would never use, number 1. This is the most controversial one, and I'm going to duck and cover, I think, and that's mineral sunscreens. Now, before you all come for me in the comments, there is nothing wrong with mineral sunscreen if it works for you. There are just a few specific reasons why I personally don't reach for mineral sunscreens, and I thought I'd share them now. Now, mineral sunscreens are one of those things that you hear a lot about online, but actually don't translate into a whole lot of sales. If you look at the international sunscreen market, 96% of sunscreen sales are either chemical sunscreens or hybrid sunscreens. A very tiny portion of the market is actually this mineral sunscreen, and most mineral sunscreen sales actually come out of the US, which, due to some of the outdated sunscreen legislation, mineral sunscreens are more appealing to a US consumer than some of the old generation US sunscreens that are actually permitted. I understand that. I do completely understand that. But I'm coming at this almost more from like a European perspective, where we have access to a wide range of amazing chemical sunscreens. And I think that's the main reason I just moved on from mineral sunscreens. Ultimately, use the sunscreen that works for you and use the one that you want to apply. You know, no sunscreen works if it's sat in a bottle. It needs to be on the skin. So if one form of sunscreen over another works better for you, keep on using it. But I've tried so many different mineral sunscreens over the year, and they've all left me ashy or itchy or too matte or almost chalky looking. I haven't actually found a decent one that I would want to wear over any chemical sunscreen in my favorites. That's just my personal take. And I do feel that mineral sunscreen companies and brands do kind of play us a little bit as consumers and say, it's a white cast free. Ours is a white cast free formulation. None of them are. No mineral sunscreen will ever be white cast free, because the nature of those mineral components that are in it, they're white in coloration. They will always leave a deposit or a cast on the skin. This is more noticeable the deeper, darker, and richer your skin tone is. For someone like me, that particularly in winter, it definitely less noticeable, but it's still there. So if it's showing, if that white cast is showing on me, it's gonna look terrible on anyone with a deeper, darker, and richer skin tone. And I just think mineral sunscreens aren't my personal preference. Now, I realize I've opened a can of worms there, so I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down in the comments, are you mineral, are you chemical, or are you hybrid? A further just thing that I will mention here is most mineral sunscreens aren't actually mineral sunscreens. They have an element of a chemical UV filter within it, because that's the way they can actually get the level of protection that's advertised on the bottle. Because the US regulatory authority doesn't recognize most chemical sunscreens as sunscreens, you don't actually have to declare them as a sunscreen. So you can use like 5 different, chemical components within a mineral sunscreen, but not have to declare any of them. And you can say mineral because the US regulators don't actually recognize any of those as sunscreen filters, but they're there to enhance the sun protection. So it can be a bit of a minefield. Most people that say I only use mineral sunscreens are actually using a mineral chemical hybrid because of the nature of most of the products on the market. So yeah, for me, it's a pass, but I do want to hear your thoughts. And if you've got a good mineral sunscreen recommendation that you want to share, drop it down below. Now, product number 2 that I would never use, drying lotions. Now, trust me, I have used so many drying lotions over the years. I have been acne prone since about 13, and I went into attack mode. If I got a zit or a pimple, it was attack, attack, attack. If I could strip it, if I could dry it, that's my approach. I use toothpaste, lemon, drying lotions, everything. And none of it actually worked and just made it worse. If you have acne, trust me, I know how debilitating it can be for your skin confidence. I've been there. But drying out your zits is just going to lead them to hyperpigment, increase the risk of scarring, and actually prolong the heal time. You should be treating your zits with some TLC. There are some great ingredients which can minimize the appearance and the inflammation, such as sulfur, azelaic acid. These are amazing ingredients. Stripping and drying lotions, such as the Mario Badescu drying lotion, which I had on screen earlier, actually do more harm than good, increase the risk of scarring and just hyperpigmentation central. Take it from someone that's been using these for years. They don't work. There are better options. The ordinary sulfur paste actually is a real game changer. It doesn't strip and dry. It does actually reduce inflammation. There's better things on the market. So yeah, I'm saying goodbye, never to be seen again when it comes to drying lotions. Number 3. Reusable cotton rounds. Now, I have tried many different brands and I've enjoyed many brands. I particularly like the ones by Medicaid. I love the ones by Face Theory. There are some really good reusable cotton rounds out there, but I've actually realized it's easier to just not use anything. I don't apply any of my toners or essences with a cotton round anymore. I put it on my hand, press it in. I waste less product that way. I feel like I'm getting a better application. All that wiping and tugging, not a good thing. Just pressing it in with the hands, I think works better. And I don't actually use any products in my skincare routine that require a manual application using a cotton round. Now, if you do, say for example, you use micellar water regularly, I would recommend using a reusable cotton round over a standard cotton round, better for the environment, all of that. I definitely agree that reusable is better than standard cotton rounds, but I've stopped using even the reusable ones because I've just realized nothing is better than something. In this case, if you haven't tried applying your toners with just on your hand, press it in, give it a go. You waste less product. I think you'll enjoy it more. That was a bit of a revelation for me. And yeah, I don't think I'm looking back. They were also a faff. You had to put them in the bag and wash them and all of that. Just easier to do without in my book, but let me know, what's your take on this? I genuinely would love to hear it. Number 4, coconut oil. There's a huge conversation in skincare about something called non-comedogenic. This means it doesn't clog your pores, but actually there is no scientific definition of what non-comedogenic actually means, what ingredients fall into that category and don't. It's a bit of a nonsense term, which thankfully is being sort of phased out. And there's lots of arguments online about what ingredients do clog your pores and what don't. Nobody seems to agree, with the exception of coconut oil. Just about everybody with acne will agree that coconut oil exacerbates it and makes it worse. It's one of the few things that the entire skincare community agree on, and so coconut oil for me is a firm no. There are some beautiful oils out there. I love castor oil. I covered all the reasons why I love castor oil in a recent video, which I'll leave a link to up there. Check it out. I love rosehip seed oil, jojoba oil. There are loads of amazing oils out there. Coconut oil just ain't it. It's just not. And I think it was a bit of a craze maybe 3 years ago, and is kind of petered out a little bit now. It's fine. If you want to cook with it, make your smoothies with it, do what you want with it. It's fine. On the skin, there are so many better options. So coconut oil is it's not for me. And last but by no means least, I feel like we've gone full circle back to where we started, and that's US approved sunscreens. This is another thing that most people actually agree on in skincare, which I think is good. Because of the outdated regulations around sunscreens in the US is pretty much the only territory of the world that I can think of, or major skincare territory of the world, that doesn't allow new generation better filters in their products. If you want to buy a sunscreen in a physical retailer in the US, it will have to have old generation filters within it. These are the ones that sting the eyes, they often burn the skin, they can be quite irritating. They don't actually give as broad spectrum protection, and if they do, you have to really think about how you formulate with it, which can increase the cost. It's a bit of a nightmare. So most people outside of the US would reach for more modern filters and generally actively avoid US produced sunscreens for that reason. Now, this is zero shade to the US consumer, who I actually feel I have a lot of empathy for, because at the end of the day, US consumers I know are screaming for the newer generation filters. Most US consumers now have to import sunscreen to get around these ridiculous legislation, and it's not good for anybody. Sunscreen only works if you apply it to the skin, and I hate the idea that US consumers are actively avoiding sunscreens because theirs are just so bad when there are just better ones available. And until the FDA actually pull their finger out and do what's right and create a space for these newer filters, I personally won't be opting for US sunscreens when I just think there's better protection from European sunscreens, Korean sunscreens, Japanese sunscreens, and Australasian sunscreens. That's where it's at. And I think it's a shame. If you're a US consumer, I fully appreciate how difficult this is. If you're a US consumer, you can still import from certain brands newer generation sunscreens, so you can still access them. It's becoming increasingly difficult, which is a shame, but you absolutely can do it. I actually created my own sunscreen, which is the Mad About Skin Protect and Hydrate sunscreen, which uses new generation filters and is available to buy online and to be shipped to the US. We cover all the customs, we cover the tariffs, so what you see is what you pay in terms of the price. This is available internationally and uses those new generation filters. Because we're a smaller brand, we're still able to do that, but these loopholes are closing at a rapid rate. So I think it's a real shame. Until the FDA actually get their act together, I just think US consumers are at the risk of missing out when it comes to good sun protection. You don't have to just buy mine. There are so many amazing new generation sunscreens, and I captured all of my favorites in a recent video, which I'll leave a link to up there. But yeah, like I say, if you wanted to be able to shop and knowing you're not going to be charged customs and fees and all of that, then I'll leave a link to this down below. New generation technology, and the price on the website is the price you pay with no hidden charges. So hopefully that'll help people access a sunscreen that I think people just deserve. So for me, it's a firm pass when it comes to US manufactured sunscreens, and I think that's a real shame, but I'm hoping something will change soon. Let's cross all of our fingers. So there you have it, guys, a hot take on 5 products you will never see in my skincare routine. This isn't meant to be controversial or shady. I always stay away from that sort of thing, but I just thought it was something a little bit different, documenting what might be a bit of food for thought. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me on these? Do you passionately disagree? I want to hear from you down in the comment section below, and wherever you are in the world, guys. Stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.